Novak Djokovic has had his fair share of chaos and drama that has carried on from last year to this one, but it looks like he is far from being done. Now that his issues with deportation, injuries, and vaccination statuses are over, he is back and ready to get things done. Without further ado, let's dive right into it, starting with Djokovic's major goal for this season. For the remainder of the year, one of Novak Djokovic's top priorities is qualifying for the ATP Finals in Turin. As a Grand Slam winner, Wimbledon in July, the Serb is automatically entered into the 8-player tournament, but only if he maintains a ranking in the top 20. Djokovic will go to Israel this week to compete in the Tel Aviv tournament, and he has said that the ATP Finals is his primary objective for the remainder of the year. His current focus is on making it to Turin, he added. On Sunday, Noel lost his second singles match of the Laver Cup against Felix Auger-Aliassime, a crucial defeat as Team World won the first time in 5 attempts. Noel then spoke up about his priorities. He said he's in a good position in the ATP race, but he's just looking at finishing in the top 15 or 16. He is currently 15th, which is not something he's super proud of, and it kind of makes sense. Like, the man is said to be a part of the big top 3 in tennis, so if we judge based on his position, he's been underperforming. The Serbian player elaborated by saying that Grand Slam champions must be ranked in the top 20 in the world. That is the standard he must meet in order to qualify for Turin, so right now his attention is fixed there. And he went on to say, "I will play Tel Aviv next week and play an ATP 500 in Kazakhstan, and then the schedule was to play Bursi and Turin. So let's see if it stays this way or if something changes, but my thoughts are obviously the next few weeks, and then I will take it from there." Next up, adding to the list, Novak Djokovic has said that another one of his primary goals for the remainder of his career is to maximize the number of times he represents Serbia. Djokovic has always been goal-oriented, and he has set the ambitious goals of spending more time than anybody else in the world at number 1 and winning more Grand Slam tournaments than anyone else in history this season. He accomplished the former early in his career and joined Rafael Nadal and Roger Federer with 20 career major titles after winning the Australian Open, Roland Garros, and Wimbledon. His primary focus for 2022 will be on surpassing them, but he also recognizes the value of continuing to represent Serbia in international competitions like the Davis Cup and ATP Cup. He has mentioned the majors before, saying, "I don't know whether people have seen it or heard it, but whenever I've been asked what the main priority are for me at this point in my career, it's Grand Slams and playing for the national team." According to him, these are his top 2 priorities. The Serb continued by saying he is inspired and motivated to be a part of the squad. While physically able, he will always support the captain. Because team tournaments like the Davis Cup are so historically significant to what is otherwise mostly a solo sport, he plans to make himself accessible to the team whenever possible. Along with the Davis Cup, the ATP Cup is one of the 2 major team tournaments that really bring out the best in him emotionally. To represent Serbia on the field is a major inspiration for him. Let's talk about the hurdles standing in the way. While he is super amped and prepared to win whatever comes next, there is the looming threat of a wrist injury that could potentially dampen his plans. Djokovic returned to action last weekend after taking a month off after winning at Wimbledon. Djokovic went 2-1 in the Laver Cup competition with 2 victories and 1 defeat. On Sunday, Djokovic lost an unexpected match against Felix Auger-Aliassime while clearly bothered by a wrist injury. Djokovic said his wrist hurt after the game. In all candor, he said that he has had to add that for the last 4 or 5 days. He has been having a lot of trouble with his right wrist. He's managed to keep it under wraps, and the 2 games he played likely affected it as well. Plus, he even added that the match he had just played was also not an easy one, as he was unable to service as quickly or precisely as he would have liked. For him, all of the play has been altered because of it. It's possible for him to spend almost 3 months without playing games, and then when he does, the balls are so enormous and sluggish that it defeats the purpose. It's possible that the discomfort he's been experiencing is related to the constant need to produce forceful motion and rapid acceleration at the wrist. Djokovic receives a first-round bye as the tournament's top seed in Tel Aviv. Djokovic will face either Thiago Monteiro or Pablo Andujar in the round of 16 in Tel Aviv. It remains to be seen whether Djokovic can complete the tournament sweep this week in Tel Aviv. We can only wait and see how the rest of the season pans out for him and whether he'll be able to go through his goals or not. What do you think? Moving on to other news. First up, Kyrgios withdraws from Japan Open. As Nick Kyrgios was about to face Taylor Fritz in the quarterfinals of the Japan Open, he abruptly withdrew. The 5th seed announced to the crowd that he was pulling out of the event due to an injury only minutes before he was scheduled to take the court for his round of 8 match. Therefore, Kyrgios was also eliminated from the doubles competition, where he and Thanasi Kokkinakis advanced to the semifinals. On Friday, Kyrgios and Fritz were scheduled to play in a thrilling quarterfinal match at the Japan Open. The Australian has been playing well in Tokyo, and following his 3-set comeback victory on Thursday, he expressed his passion passion for the event, stating he hoped to complete his career there. The world's number 20 tennis player, however, has been forced to cut his stint at the event short due to injury. He announced his withdrawal from singles and doubles play on the court. The news occurred just before his scheduled match against the third seed. As a result, Fritz advances automatically to his third consecutive semifinal. Since Kyrgios and Thanasi Kokkinakis were in the semifinals of the doubles draw and were scheduled to play on Saturday, they will no longer be participating in the tournament. After Kyrgios withdrew from the doubles competition, Marcelo Melo and Mackenzie McDonald were declared the winners and moved on to the championship round. This week in Tokyo, Kyrgios and Kokkinakis were the top two seeds and will compete against one other in the ATP Finals in Turin. All he had to say was that this was the better decision for his body. Not to forget, Sue Barker supports Raducanu. After passing through many mentors in the last 18 months, Sue Barker has endorsed Emma Raducanu's choice to continue working with Dmitry Tursunov. However, after becoming the first qualifier to win a Grand Slam at last year's US Open, the British number one has had uneven fortunes on tour, and Barker has admitted that Raducanu required one steady coach. After a season full of ups and downs, broadcaster turned professional Sue Barker gave Raducanu some advice. The player has gone through various coaching splits in the last 18 months, prompting the 66-year-old to tell The Telegraph, "I feel she needs one person who she truly trusts and believes in." In 2021, Raducanu made her Grand Slam tournament debut at Wimbledon, where she advanced to the second week before parting ties with coach Nigel Sears. Barker further says that every coach has a unique philosophy, style of play, and approach to instruction, and it would make no sense to her whatsoever. It would cause chaos before it settled into a productive pattern. However, she was also aware of the enormous strain that Emma had been under. Finally, Novak spotted jogging with 10 bodyguards. Strange circumstances unfolded when Novak Djokovic was seen in Astana, Kazakhstan, where he was running while flanked by security. The world number 7 was accompanied by around 10 guys in suits when he was out jogging before his first match at the new tournament in Kazakhstan. The 35-year-old went for a jog in Astana before his match with the number 81 player in the world, but he was flanked by several guys in suits who ringed him as he ran. Several fans then followed in pursuit of Djokovic and the guards. It's no secret that Novak Djokovic enjoys working out in the great outdoors, as he often posts of his outdoor sessions, but the number of bodyguards was definitely weird. That's a wrap for this video. What did you think of the goals Noel has set for himself? Will he be able to pull them off? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.